Roll for Crit here at Gen Con is currently day 512. The war rages on. Well, we were lucky enough, though, to try out the new Machi Koro Legacy. This is actually really hot now on Board Game Geek because it's not only a very popular game, Machi Koro, but also Legacy, which is extremely popular. Now, we didn't play through the whole game, obviously. We got to play that sort of first chapter to just get a taste of what this game will have in store.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with the original Machi Koro, it's a competitive card game. Also involves dice rolling. On everyone's turn, they're going to roll a die, and depending on what number comes up, different card abilities will be triggered. So it could affect multiple players. So someone might have a card that says, if a 1 or a 2 is rolled, you get a coin. And if someone else has that card, both those players will get that coin. That's just an example, not an exact number. And you're trying to build up, purchase new buildings for your personal little area, and get more money in order to get better buildings in order to win the game. So, like you said, the one that we played had a few little differences from original Machi Koro. I mean, I noticed there were a couple of different cards that acted a little bit differently.
Right. In the first game, you actually have none of the red or purple cards. Those are more of your player interaction and hate, so to speak.
Right.
It's all blue and green, which pretty much means either A, can trigger on any turn, or B, your own turn, which is, if you play it, if it's sort of a mixed bag of what you want to go for. It's still similar. You have to build up 4 features, but one of them is called a community feature. What this is, it's sort of a center thing. You pay the price for it, and you put a little flag token on there, and it has a bonus on it. This one had to be, as soon as you place on it, immediately get a coin for every building symbol you have within your part of town. Mm-hmm. Other than that, it played pretty similar for this. Better components in terms of the coins. At least mine. Yeah. Mine's cardboard.
Right, yeah. There have been so many different versions of Machi Koro Deluxe
I don't
editions.
have the Deluxe, so...
Yeah, I can't keep track. Definitely, it's hard to talk about this because, of course, a legacy game, it's just very early impressions. But I feel like it's definitely more on the side of those legacy games where it kind of is acting as a tutorial for if you've played the more quote unquote the full game. Like you said, this one kind of strips away a couple of the features. So for us, it was all about, well, this gets me money, this gets me money, this gets me money.
Well, we did learn though what gets added as you go on. So first off, as you open packs, you'll actually get to make choices whether to add this pile or this pile. Usually that's how you actually add red cards in. So you could be like, yeah, we're going to add a lot more of the red piles in, so this is going to become a very aggressive Machi Koro set. Or the green and make it more of a passive one. And, of course, when you're finished, very similar, I think Aeon Legacy says this too, but it's pretty much a personalized Machi Koro game that you have.
Yeah, so I think that seems like the thing that they do now with these legacy titles. They know people want to replay them.
The other thing that they add is, of course, you have a little board where you can write your name, but we noticed there was 4 little circ dots with 2 X's in them, with 2 not filled in yet. And it seems that those are actually starter cards. And somehow, we don't know how, but you'll be able to unlock more starter cards, which means you'll also be able to jump ahead, presumably, faster within the game.
Right, so as the campaign goes on, each time you'll be starting off with potentially different strategies, different abilities that you have compared to others, maybe. So, I mean, this is definitely, I think if you like Machi Koro, or I think, like I said, I think if you are introducing this to someone who hasn't played Machi Koro, even though that's a pretty light game, it's nice to have something that really eases you into the rules and introduces things gradually one at a time. I don't know that in this particular demo, I think just because by the nature of it being the first thing, it wasn't super exciting, I felt, but I don't know if you had.
I had fun because I enjoy Machi Koro. It just reminded me yes, I like this game.
It's very simple.
I think really it comes with the pros and cons you'd expect from either, I mean, obviously if we played more we could say otherwise, but of what you expect from Machi Koro and Legacy, being that I like the game Machi Koro. I think overall it's a fun light game of just building. It's an engine building, so to speak, game. Yeah. And Legacy, however, is the thing that scares me a little just because it's always just hard to make sure you get the same people at the table, which I think is always the issue you have to decide. Is this worth purchasing?
Yeah, it's definitely for me one that I gotta see what else is coming out. How weird did those cards really get to really change things up from the base Machi Koro? Does it dip more into the stuff from the expansions that some people really liked, some people didn't? I'm interested to see how they maybe take some of that feedback into account.
Let us know what your thoughts on this. If you're going to purchase it and you're excited for another Legacy game in your edition, or if you're just a Machi Koro fan and just want more Machi Koro goodness.
For more Gen Con content, like this video, subscribe to Roll for Crit, and follow us on all our social media platforms.
But if you really need more, you can visit our Patreon. We'll be having a exclusive little Gen Con mini podcast to listen to.
And there's our contest running right now for the Keyforge Age of Ascension set. You can try to win. Find the link in the description down below.